appear on the agenda unless otherwise noted. I'd appreciate it if everybody would stop their conversations. So this is going to be the code enforcement for Delray Beach. The cases are called in order unless otherwise noted. The city presents its evidence and testimony for.
The owners are 213 East Atlantic LLC, care of Big Time Restaurant Group Corp. Todd Herbst is the registered agent. The property address is 213 East Atlantic Avenue. And the code officer on the case is Randall Strawn.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm here regarding case number 26-00647 regarding 213 East Atlantic Avenue. My name is Randall Strawn, code officer with the city of Delray Beach, Florida. This property was issued an irreversible violation. Service was accomplished by certified regular mail on April 10th, 2026. In addition, both the property and City Hall were posted on the property on April 28th, 2026. An affidavit of posting is also included in the case files. I have not been in contact with the property owner as of late. The property was cited for illicit discharge. On March 27, 2026, our code officer Randall Strawn observed an illicit discharge of HVAC condensate originating from the rear of the property. This discharge flowed into the public right-of-way, public alleyway, and directly into the city storm drainage system in a violation of the city ordinance, code section 53.012, subsection A to C. Because of this discharge has already entered the municipal stormwater system, it impacted the environment. This offense is classified as an irreversible violation. No remedial action can be undue. The unauthorized discharge has already occurred. This property was also previously violated for the same issue on April 24th, 2025, in the amount of $5,000. As of May 6th, 2026, the property has not come into compliance. I also have 10 photographs of the property to this case that I would like to introduce into evidence.
Okay, thank you. Can we get, did we already get their representation before we go to the...
We did not. Would you like to make your appearance?
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Richard Delavero on behalf of the property owner, 213 East Atlantic LLC. Also with me is the general manager of the restaurant. His name is Daniel Sobey, S-O-B-E-Y. My last name is spelled D as in David, E-L-L-A, F as in Frank, E-R-A.
Thank you, sir. Go ahead.
I have 10 exhibits that I would like to introduce. This is exhibit 1. This is the front of the restaurant. See the oysters?
And when was that photograph taken?
This was taken on March 31st, 2026. I'm sorry. Exhibit 2 was taken on March 27, 2026. This is the actual, this is the pitch. Exhibit 2 showing the discharge going into the illicit discharge going into the storm drainage coming from the pipe.
So for clarification, is that coming from the pipe directly behind the City Oyster Restaurant?
Yes, it is, in the real property, yes.
Thank you.
Exhibit 3, the pitch, also discharge flowing to the storm drainage. This was taken on March 27, 2026.
And on the ground, if you can go back to Exhibit 3, just also describe when you say discharge, that is the AC condensation that you witnessed coming from behind the City Oyster that's flowing into the city storm drain. And thank you. And as it's flowing, is it also picking up debris that's on the ground?
Yes, it is.
Thank you. And what type of debris was on the ground outside?
Translating debris, and just debris from landscape, just debris from the overgrown landscape.
Okay.
From right here.
And is there also, it looks like there's some dark spots, is there also grease on the ground as well from your review?
Well, my reviews just look like just condensate water.
Okay, but that's
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. This is it before. This is the this is a different angle of the property. This was taken on April, can't really see it, April 14, 2026. This is shows another angle of the water going into the storm drainage.
And as you can tell, there's doors indicating the property is correct, so you can see it on those
Yes.
photographs.
Yes, it is.
Thank you.
This is Exhibit 5, taken on April 14th, 2026. This shows an up-close visual of the property, the pipe coming down from the rear of the property of City Orchards, showing on the bottom, the puddle from the water that's coming down through the pipe.
So in this picture here, Exhibit 5, you see it coming from the top of the property, which is kind of in the center of the photograph, correct?
Yes,
Flowing down to the ground, correct?
yes,
And are you talking about that in the center bottom of the photograph, that dark spot with the ripples that look like the reflection from water?
yes it is.
Okay, and is that what you're saying reflects in the other photographs, that is flowing into the city storm drain?
Yes.
Thank you.
And this is another picture of Exhibit 6, taken on April 14, 2026. Shows again the water coming from the pipe on the ground, discoloration to the concrete, flowing again inside to the storm drains.
And I noticed that this, of course, this is an irreversible violation, and you initially reserved, and what we're here for is the March 27th, correct?
Yes,
But when you again went back on April 14th, it was the same conditions that you witnessed on March 27th, correct?
correct.
So this is just kind of a confirmation photo from the March 27th, correct?
Yes, it is.
Thank you.
This is another exhibit number 7, showing the video clip of it.
You got all that garbage.
Showing it to you. This was taken on the March 27, 2026, showing a video clip of the water going into the storm drains, flowing to the storm drains. And this is a photo of the previous receipt from City Orchards in the amount of $5,000. And this was back in April 14, 2025.
So that is correct. So that's for the similar type of violation?
Yes,
Okay. And that was within 5 years. I believe you said it was April 14, 2025.
yes it is.
So actually, that was less than a year.
Less than a year. Yeah.
Thank you.
And this is the posting that was taken on April 28th, 2026, posted to the property. Exhibit number 9 and Exhibit 10 shows the affidavit of the posting also.
Okay. Thank you. At this time, the city would like to introduce the 10 photographs into evidence.
Mr. Delafair?
If I could voir dire on it was Exhibit 8.
Go back to 8.
Oh, yeah. May I?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Good afternoon, officer.
Got it.
This receipt that you're showing of the $5,000 that was paid in April of 2025, that violation did not deal with the air conditioning condensation. Isn't that true?
It dealt with illicit discharge.
Right. You don't know. So as you sit here today, you don't know what the quote unquote illicit discharge
I
was.
just know it was illicit discharge.
Right. But
Fine.
you don't know. You can't say that it was air conditioning condensation, correct?
It just says illicit discharge. That's all.
Okay. So the answer to my question is no, you can't say that it came from air conditioning condensation.
Again, illicit discharge. That's what the
Okay.
receipt says.
Judge, I move to strike Exhibit 8. It's not relevant.
And I'm going to object to that. We do have testimony from a witness who will be able to testify. If you want to accept it as a demonstrative aid at this point and introduce the other 1 through 7 and 9 and 10 into evidence, and we can clarify if you want to do that. But our original position is that it is relevant. It is illicit discharge, and pursuant to Chapter 162, the violation just has to be for the same type of violation, which in that code section for what the violation was for, it was for the same code section 5301.
So you're entering it for the purposes of a
Well,
repeat
actually,
violation, or?
Well, we're just entering, yes, just for purposes of repeat violation, yes. But our position is, if you want to hear more testimony, you can. We'd ask that instead of striking it. But our original position is that it's relevant. It's a repeat violation pursuant to Chapter 162 of the Florida statutes. For the purposes of a repeat violation, it just has to be the same type of violation under the code section. And we're citing, which was the previous one, 53012, illicit discharge. Now, depending on what type of discharge is a different fact, but it's still discharge into the city storm water system.
Yeah, I'm gonna allow it. I'm gonna admit exhibits 1 through 10. City, have anything further?
Nothing from this witness. We do have another witness.
Mr. Fair, would you like to question the witness?
Yes, thank you. So you would agree, well, it seems that you are testifying that it was air conditioning condensation that was flowing out of that pipe that we saw in the prior exhibits, right? Right. So you have no evidence that there's any pollutants in that condensation, right? There's no grease in in that condensation, correct? No dirt in that condensation, correct?
Debris, trash and debris.
Well, trash and debris is in the alleyway, but I'm talking about what is actually coming out of that pipe.
Yeah, it's rat water, yes.
It's just plain water, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's all I have, Judge.
And I just have one follow-up question. That is water coming from the HVAC system, correct?
Correct.
Thank you.
Anything further?
Yes. At this time, the city would like to call Mr. Cuesta.
Juan Cuesta, stormwater engineer. What else? Anything?
Yes. No, I can answer a couple questions. How long have you been employed with the city?
With the city of Delray Beach since 2024, so 2 years.
And tell us just briefly about your history working in this industry.
Since 2015, I started with the city of Boynton Beach, and after 8 years there, then city of Delray Beach acquired my services.
And as a part of your services and your position, do you have to become familiar with the city's stormwater system?
Correct.
And are you familiar with the system and the, I guess, the drainage and everything related as it relates to behind the property where City Oyster is located?
Yes.
And that's located at 213 East Atlantic Avenue in Delray Beach, Florida?
Yes, I actually administer the MPDS program.
And what is the MTDS program?
It's the National Pollutant Elimination Discharge System.
Okay. And are you familiar with the city's code of ordinance regarding the discharge of stormwater?
Yes.
And for purposes of AC or HVAC water that flows into the city drainage, when is it permitted, if it ever is?
To HVAC condensate, it's allowed to be discharged into the stormwater system under 2 conditions. Number 1, it must be approved by the Public Works Director. Number 2, it has to be a direct connection, a direct piping without collecting any pollutants as a runoff, as we see it here.
So just let's get the first step out of the way. Was this property permitted to have AC condensation flow into the city's stormwater system by the director?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay. And you've become familiar with this case and you've researched to assist the code enforcement department, correct?
Yes.
And you independently reviewed photographs, the ordinances, and any approvals for this location, correct?
Correct.
And so as to the second part, could you describe, what direct means?
Direct means that it will not have contact with any other surface, but it will be enclosed like direct piping, not as runoff onto the right-of-way or asphalt where it can pick up pollutants, especially behind a restaurant where there's food handling and spills occur, where then the spill can be carried into the stormwater.
So
system.
Simply put, does direct mean that it goes through some type of piping directly from the exit of the AC condensation directly in to the
Correct.
stormwater system, right?
Correct.
So there would be some type of infrastructure that would route it directly, correct?
Right, underground,
It's
yes.
underground or above ground, but it's not, it doesn't have to, or whatever, the condensate does not travel on the ground, correct?
I'm going to object to the leading nature of the questioning.
I'll allow it, just, let the respondent answer.
Okay. So my next question is, did you have a chance to review these photographs from the allegation date of the 3/27?
Yes.
And from your observations and your visits to the site, what is on the ground that the condensate was distributing into the city stormwater system?
Well, as seen in the picture, and it's commonly seen in behind restaurants where food trash is being collected and disposed of, that there will be markings of grease or byproduct of spills, whatever substance but it's food related. But when you have constant runoff from that pipe there next to the structure, there may be good chances of picking up those pollutants into their storm drain.
All right, so we're gonna take a look at City's Exhibit 7 now.
So you see here, there's a shine on the floor. That's clearly indication that it's just not clear water, but there might be some sort of grease that add that shine, that multicolor look. Proper when you see a grease spill from, let's just say like a car wash, and you see the shine on the water on the top.
Based on your training and experience in your position in working with water and observing sites such as this, and your observations of this site, does it appear that this is just clear water on the ground?
No.
What appears to be there?
It looks like clear water up to the point where it's being discharged, but once it's on the asphalt and noticing that there are bins, which pretty much I think they handle food debris or trash, I can conclude that there might be the clear water, the condensate may be picking up some pollutants.
And regardless of the pollutants, is this permitted in the city?
No. It's actually unsanitary to continually have water. Is damaging for the road, for the asphalt. It's a trip hazard as well, because as you can tell, there's some buildup already there.
I'm going to object to the trip hazard. I don't see how that's relevant.
Well,
That's sustained. Just speak to the water.
Is there anything else you would like to add?
I'm going to object to the narrative.
That would not be permitted.
I'll allow it.
I'm sorry, can you please repeat your answer? Sorry.
That would not be permitted.
Thank you. And now showing what has been previously entered the city's exhibit. Are you familiar with past violations for this property related at 213 East Atlantic?
Yes.
And are you specifically familiar with this one from last year?
Yes, I was present when it occurred.
Okay, so you have personal knowledge, correct?
Yes.
And what was the violation for?
The violation was, I guess there was a spill. There was food debris on the ground, and an employee from the business was hosing down the vegetables and all the food debris into the catch basin. But at that moment also we called the attention of the manager or whoever was representing the restaurant that the condensate was inappropriate as well. So we did mention that to them.
So just specifically for the violation, was that a violation for the same one here, 53012A3C discharge? into
It's
the
illicit
city?
discharge. Whether you discharge milk or mud or whatever source, if in the stormwater system we only want rainwater. We don't want people washing things off into our storm drain, because then it becomes a health issue. We don't want to feed rodents or any.
Oh, okay, we just, you know, what, just simply, was this the same type of violation?
Right. It's unsanitary.
Thank you. No further questions?
Ma'am? Thank you. The AC discharge, these approvals that you've referred to, you know, the direct connection, is that in writing anywhere?
Yes, it's in the Code of Ordinance.
Where in the Code of Ordinance?
Under illicit discharge. It's quoted here in the violation notice.
Dealing with a direct, requirement of a direct connection. Yeah, where is that?
The direct connection is what the director will approve.
So it's not written in specifically that a direct connection is required.
That's what the director would approve.
Look on that you have that document in front of you that has 553.012A to C, right? Read to us exactly where it says that a direct connection is required.
Objection, asked and answered.
He hasn't answered it, that's why I'm
I
asking.
do have an
you.
answer. It says here, unless determined by the director to be unacceptable. In this case, the director has considered this to be unacceptable.
And where is that in writing?
And only direct piping. Your client has not submitted a formal letter requesting permission, but I took the liberty of addressing back in April. I approached the director and I asked them if she will consider acceptable for us to have underground piping, and the director said that's something that she can consider. Now, the business needs to initiate and send a letter to the director, and we have not received that yet.
Okay, so you would agree with me that within the code, there's nothing that says that a direct connection isn't approved.
That is something that we will consider. What is not approved is what we see right now.
Right. Okay. So
we're just waiting for you to send a letter to the Public Works Director proposing that, and that's what we had communicated in the past.
To whom did you communicate that?
I can't recall. It's been almost a year, but it was somebody that seemed to be a manager, or because they asked us, we gave them ideas of what may
All right.
work.
Do you recognize this gentleman standing to my left?
No,
You don't recognize him to be the manager of City Oyster?
I do not recall. Not recall.
So you're saying he's not the guy, not the person that you relayed this information to in April of 2025?
Not to my memory.
Okay, all right. But in April of 2025, it was a dishwasher or some employee rinsing off vegetables.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
Okay. And you're saying that at the time, the condensation issue was noticed?
Correct.
Correct?
It was mentioned to whoever came out from there. So we
Okay.
let them know.
But there was no citation of the air conditioning condensation at that time?
No, I think the person said that they were going to be addressing to give them time. So that's why I myself didn't go back there thinking that we were going to receive a letter, but we have not yet.
Okay, you told that person to send a letter?
Yeah, I told them that this is that they need to get approval from the director, and they said, well, what can they approve? I said, well, underground pipe and direct connection.
Okay, so you don't recall whether this was the gentleman that you spoke to, but you remember that conversation?
I do remember mentioning that, yes, because it's common. It's common in many other restaurants that may have the same issue. So that's what we can agree with.
Okay. You're saying that what we see in the photograph in 7 is evidence of food grease or something?
Right, the shine of the water. It doesn't just look like clean water.
Okay, but that was never tested or anything like that, correct?
We don't have to test dirty water. We just go by appearance.
I'm asking if it was tested.
No.
Okay. And you don't know, to the extent that it could be any kind of food. There were other restaurants back in that alleyway, correct?
Correct.
Right. So even if that were some kind of food byproduct, you can't say that came from City Oyster, correct? You can't say definitively, I mean, right?
I leave it up to you. I'm not.
Okay, so
I'm not gonna-
you don't know the answer to that question. That's
Well,
what
it's
you're saying.
behind City Oyster, so I cannot assume that somebody else came from a different restaurant.
Well, rainwater will move debris in the alleyway, right?
And that's why restaurants have the responsibility to keep them clean.
Right. So if there is food debris or grease from another restaurant and there's rain, that's going to push the grease around, right?
If I recall well, the pitch of the road, you are at the highest point. So I don't see any other restaurant pushing grease towards this restaurant.
Okay. As you recall.
I'm pretty certain, 99%.
Okay. All right. And how have you measured that?
Usually water runs downhill,
Okay.
so never seen water running uphill.
Okay. So.
And from my recollection, because I drive around when it rains,
Mhm.
just to see how the stormwater system is working, I've never seen runoff running from the west to the east on that alleyway.
Okay.
And I believe that's the first restaurant there.
You don't seem sure.
No, I'm saying that I'm sure, yeah.
Okay. You said you believe, and now you say you're sure.
Well, if you want to play with my words, I'm
No,
trying to be
I'm
nice.
just trying to understand what you're saying. I'm not playing with your words.
Okay.
I'm just trying to understand.
Yes, I
what
am
you're
sure,
saying.
sir. Thank
Okay.
you.
All right. Just a minute. That's all I have.
I just have
Correct.
one follow-up question, just to be clear. Based on your review of all the city records and your previous discussions and knowledge of this case, is there an approval by the director for the way this storm drainage system, the AC condensation was flowing into our storm drain system on March 27, 2026? That's my question.
No.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
No.
Does the city have any other witnesses?
No.
Floor is yours.
Thank you. I'll call Dan Sobey. Mr. Sobey, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us what you do for a living?
My name is Daniel Sobey. I'm the general manager of City Oyster. And
Mr.
in
Stobie, can you do
July-
us the favor of talking into the microphone?
No, I'm sorry, Jeff.
My name is Daniel Sobey. I'm the general manager of City Oyster, and I've been managing that restaurant for over 7 years.
Okay, we heard talk about April 2025 violation. Are you aware of that instance?
Yes,
Were you present when city code people observed what they alleged to be a violation?
no, I was not there that day.
Okay, so what did you hear about that violation?
That our dishwasher was hosing off the alley. We were talking about 2025?
Yeah.
Our dishwasher was hosing the back alley, and I guess he was hosing some debris in the storm drain.
Okay. Do you know anything about a city official?
Testing. Testing for special magistrate. This is a test. Testing. Special Magistrate meeting test. Good morning, testing. This is a test. Thank you. Testing for Special Magistrate meeting. Testing, testing. Good morning, testing. Testing, testing. Testing. Good morning, testing. This one sounds better. How about this one? I am testing the wireless microphone. It sounds good. This one's good. This one is lower. Will the person be on camera? Yes, they will be on camera. This is the one that sounds good. This one is F5.
Making mention of the air conditioning condensation.
No,
Okay. But you weren't there present.
correct.
Okay. Did any of the, any managers bring it to your attention that, well, how was it brought to your attention about the hosing of the food?
When I got the citation, I looked at our video camera.
Okay.
And then I went to town hall and spoke with someone there, and they told me what had happened and what they had witnessed.
Okay. And who was that person?
It might have been Henry. I'm not sure. It said, no, you're spraying more than water.
This is Henry right here? That's
Henry.
Oh,
Henry.
okay. Another individual. To you about the air conditioning testified?
Correct.
Okay. Did Henry say anything to you about the air conditioning condensation?
Not then.
Okay. Prior to this violation in March, of this year, was it ever brought to your attention that the city had an issue with this air conditioning condensation?
No.
That's all I have.
Ms. Warren? Any other witnesses?
No.
All right, I'll hear argument.
Yes. So we'll start. Today we're here for a violation of City Code of Ordinance 53012, discharge prohibited in stormwater, which states that under no condition shall the discharge of domestic, sanitary, industrial, commercial waste be permitted into the stormwater system. Further, any discharge into the stormwater system not composed entirely of stormwater is generally prohibited. In this case, we have a discharge of AC condensation. The whole purpose of determining whether an approval will be necessary is because the water drags other pollutants and other items on the ground into the city's stormwater system. We've heard overwhelming evidence and saw photographs that indeed the condensation from the HVAC system was flowing into the city's stormwater system, not only regular or HVAC water, but as well as other pollutants and contaminants on the ground flowing into the system. So I think this is pretty simple as far as the facts go. It sounds like the argument is whether the AC condensation.
2026, the property has not come to compliance. I also have 10 photographs of the property to this case that I would like to introduce into evidence.
Okay, thank you. Can we get, did we already get their representation before we go to the?
We did not. Would you like to make your appearance?
Yes, thank you, thank you. Richard Delavero on behalf of the property owner, 213 East Atlantic LLC. Also with me is the general manager of the restaurant. His name is Daniel Sobey, S-O-B-E-Y. My last name is spelled D as in David, E-L-L-A, F as in Frank, E-R-A.
Thank you, sir. Go ahead.
I have 10 exhibits that I would like to introduce. This is exhibit 1. This is the front of the restaurant, Cedar Orchards.
And when was that photograph taken?
This was taken on March 31st, 2026. Sorry. Exhibit 2 was taken on March 27th, 2026. This is the actual, this depicts exhibit 2 showing the discharge going into the illicit discharge going into the storm drainage coming from the pipe.
So for clarification, is that coming from the pipe directly behind the City Oyster Restaurant?
Yes, it is, in the real property, yes.
Thank you.
Exhibit 3 depicts also discharge flowing to the storm drainage. This was taken on March 27th, 2026.
And on the ground, if you can go back to Exhibit 3, just also describe when you say discharge, that is the AC condensation that you witnessed coming from behind the City Oyster that's flowing into the city storm drain. And thank you. And as it's flowing, is it also picking up debris that's on the ground?
Yes, it is.
Thank you. And what type of debris was on the ground outside?
Trash and debris, just debris from landscape, just debris from the landscape
Okay.
right here.
And is there also, it looks like there's some dark spots, is there also grease on the ground as well, from your review?
Well, my reviews are just look at just condensate water.
Okay, but that's,
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. This is it before. This is the this is a different angle of the property. This was taken on April, can't really see it, April 14, 2026. This is shows another angle of the water going into the storm drainage.
And as you can tell, there's doors indicating the property is correct, so you can see it on those
Yes.
photographs.
Yes, it is.
Thank you.
This is exhibit 5, taken on April 14, 2026. This shows an up-close visual of the property, the pipe coming down from the rear of the property of Cedar Orchard, showing on the bottom the puddle from the water that's coming down through the pipe.
So in this picture here, Exhibit 5, you see it coming from the top of the property, which is kind of in the center of the photograph, correct?
Yes,
Flowing down to the ground, correct?
yes,
And are you talking about that in the center bottom of the photograph, that dark spot with the ripples that look like the reflection from water?
yes it is.
Okay, and is that what you're saying reflects in the other photographs that is flowing into the city storm drain?
Absolutely, yes.
Thank you.
And this is another picture of exhibit 6, taken on April 14, 2026. Shows again the water coming from the pipe on the ground, discoloration to the concrete, flowing again inside to the storm drainage.
And I noticed that this, of course, this is an irreversible violation, and you initially reserved, and what we're here for is the March 27th, correct?
Yes,
But when you again went back on April 14th, it was the same conditions that you witnessed on March 27th, correct?
correct.
So this is just kind of a confirmation photo from the March 27th, correct?
Yes, it is.
Thank you.
This is another exhibit number 7, showing the video clip of it. You got all that garbage? Sure. This was taken on the March 27, 2026, showing a video clip of the water going into the storm drains, flowing to the storm drains. And this is a photo of the previous receipt from Cedar Orchards in the amount of $5,000. And this was This was back in April 14, 2025.
So that is correct. So that's for the similar type of violation?
Yes.
Okay. And that was within 5 years. I believe you said it was April 14, 2025.
Yes, it is.
So actually, that was less than a year.
Less than a year. Yeah.
Thank you.
And this is the posting that was taken on April 28th, 2026. Posted to the property. Exhibit number 9 and Exhibit 10 shows the affidavit of the posting also.
Thank you. At this time, the city would like to introduce the 10 photographs into evidence.
Are we doing?
Mr. Delafair?
If I could voir dire on it was Exhibit 8.
Yes, he's
Okay.
back there. I couldn't leave this part open.
Oh, yeah. May I? Thank you. Good afternoon, officer. This receipt that you're showing of the $5,000 that was paid in April of 2025, that violation did not deal with the air conditioning condensation, isn't that true?
It dealt with illicit discharge.
Right, you don't know, so as you sit here today, you don't know what the quote-unquote illicit discharge
I
was.
just know it was illicit discharge.
Right, but you don't know, you can't say that it was air conditioning condensation, correct?
It just says illicit discharge. That's all.
Okay, so the answer to my question is no, you can't say that it came from air conditioning condensation.
Again, illicit discharge. That's what the
Okay.
receipt says.
Judge, I move to strike Exhibit 8. It's not relevant.
And I'm going to object to that. We do have testimony from a witness who will be able to testify. If you want to accept it as a demonstrative aid at this point and introduce the other 1 through 7 and 9 and 10 into evidence, and we can clarify if you want to do that. But our original position is that it is relevant. It is illicit discharge, and pursuant to Chapter 162, the violation just has to be for the same type of violation, which in that code section for what the violation was for, it was for the same code section 5301.
So you're entering it for the purposes of a
Well,
repeat
actually-
violation, or?
Well, we're just entering, yes, just for purposes of repeat violation, yes. But our position is, if you want to hear more testimony, you can. We'd ask that instead of striking it. But our original position is that it's relevant. It's a repeat violation pursuant to Chapter 162 of the Florida statutes. For the purposes of a repeat violation, it just has to be the same type of violation under the code section. And we're citing, which was the previous one, 53012, illicit discharge. Now, depending on what type of discharge is a different fact, but it's still discharge into the city storm water system.
Yeah, I'm going to allow it. I'm going to admit Exhibits 1 through 10. City have anything further?
Nothing from this witness. We do have another witness.
Mr. LaFair, would you like to question the witness?
Yes, thank you. So you would agree, well, it seems that you are testifying that it was air conditioning condensation that was flowing out of that pipe that we saw in the prior exhibits, right? Right. So you have no evidence that there's any pollutants in that condensation, right? There's no grease in in that condensation, correct? No dirt in that condensation, correct?
Debris, trash and debris.
Well, trash and debris is in the alleyway, but I'm talking about what is actually coming out of that pipe.
Yeah, it's bad water, yes.
It's just plain water, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's all I have, Judge.
And I just have one follow-up question. That is water coming from the HVAC system, correct?
Correct.
Thank you.
Anything further?
Yes. At this time, the city would like to call Mr. Cuesta.
Juan Cuesta, stormwater engineer. What else?
Yes. No, I can answer a couple questions. How long have you been employed with the city?
With the city of Delray Beach since 2024, so 2 years.
And tell us just briefly about your history working in this industry.
Since 2015, I started with the city of Boynton Beach, and after 8 years there, then city of Delray Beach acquire my services. So,
And as a part of your services and your position, do you have to become familiar with the city's stormwater system?
correct.
And are you familiar with the system and the, I guess, the drainage and everything related as it relates to behind the property where City Oyster is located?
Yes.
And that's located at 213 East Atlantic Avenue in Delray Beach, Florida?
Yes, I actually administer the MPDS program.
And what is the MPDS program?
It's the National Pollutant Elimination Discharge System.
Okay. And are you familiar with the city's code of ordinance regarding the discharge and stormwater?
Yes,
And for purposes of AC or HVAC, water that flows into the city drainage, when is it permitted, if it ever is?
to HVAC condensate, it's allowed to be discharged into the stormwater system under two conditions. Number one, it must be approved by the Public Works Director. Number two, it has to be a direct connection, a direct piping without collecting any pollutants as a runoff, as we see it here.
So just let's get the first step out of the way. Was this property permitted to have AC condensation flow into the city's stormwater system by the director?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay. And you've become familiar with this case and you've researched to assist the code enforcement department, correct?
Yes,
And you independently reviewed photographs, the ordinances, and any approvals for this location, correct?
correct.
And so as to the second part, could you describe, what direct means?
Direct means that it will not have contact with any other surface, but it will be enclosed like direct piping, not as runoff onto the right-of-way or asphalt where it can pick up pollutants, especially behind a restaurant where there's food handling and spills occur, where then the spill can be carried into the stormwater
So
system.
simply put, does direct mean that it goes through some type of piping directly from the exit of the AC condensation directly in to
Correct.
the stormwater system, right?
Correct.
So there would be some type of infrastructure that would route it directly, correct?
Right, underground, yes.
It's underground or above ground, but it doesn't have to, or whatever, the condensate does not travel on the ground, correct?
Correct.
I'm going to object to the leading nature of the questioning.
I'll allow it, just, let the respondent answer.
Okay. So my next question is, did you have a chance to review these photographs from the allegation date of the 327?
Yes.
And from your observations and your visits to the site, what is on the ground that the condensate was distributing into the city stormwater system?
Well, as seen in the picture, and it's commonly seen in behind restaurants where food trash is being collected and disposed of, that there will be markings of grease or byproduct of spills, whatever substance it, but it's food related. But when you have constant runoff from that pipe there next to the structure, there may be good chances of picking up those pollutants into the storm drain.
All right, so we're gonna take a look at City's Exhibit 7 now.
So you see here, there's a shine on the floor. That's clearly indication that it's just not clear water, but there might be some sort of grease that add that shine, that multicolored look.
Right, like right after
Proper
work.
when you see a grease spill from, let's just say, like
Oh, good.
a car wash.
Yeah, down the road early.
You see the shine on the water.
Be miserable. Next
That's
one?
like your training and experience in
Thanks.
position of water
I'll be easy.
and observing sites
Easy on you.
such as this. In your observations of this site, does it appear that this is just clear water on the ground?
No,
what appears to be
It looks like clear water up to the point where it's being discharged, but once it's on the asphalt and noticing that there are bins, which pretty much I think they handle food debris or trash, I can conclude that there might be the clear water, the condensate may be picking up some pollutants.
And regardless of the pollutants, is this permitted in the city?
No. It's actually unsanitary to continually have water. Is damaging for the road, for the asphalt. It's a trip hazard as well, because as you can tell, there's some buildup already there.
I'm going to object to the trip hazard. I don't see how that's relevant.
Well,
That's sustained. Just speak to the water.
Is there anything else you would like to add about the water?
I'm going to object to the narrative.
That would not be permitted.
Hold on.
I'm sorry, could you please repeat your answer? Sorry.
That would not be permitted.
Thank you. And now showing what has been previously entered the city's exhibit. Are you familiar with past violations for this property related to 213 East Atlantic?
Yes.
And are you specifically familiar with this one from last year?
Yes, I was present when it occurred.
Okay, so you have personal knowledge, correct?
Yes.
And what was the violation for?
The violation was, I guess there was a spill, there was food debris on the ground, and an employee from the business was hosing down the vegetables and all the food debris into the catch basin. But at that moment also we called the attention of the manager or whoever was representing the
And if you have insurance that covers those numbers, that will probably also increase. That was a very hard-fought compromise. There was a lot of discussion of raising the limits up to $1 million per incident. And I will tell you, this past year I was the Democratic Minority Chair, and so I met with the League of Cities every week, and they did an amazing job. They really worked hard because this was a session where cities and counties were attacked, and they did everything they could to make bad bills a little more tolerable, and that was an example of where they did it. Other things that we preempted: you are not allowed to regulate the fuel source of gas leaf blowers. So if somebody wants to use gas leaf blowers, they are allowed to. You are not allowed to pass any regulations to achieve net zero greenhouse gas emissions. We asked how that affects having a bus that would be an electric bus. And the answer was pretty much, you will have to justify that it's being done for economic reasons and not for not for carbon reduction reasons. So that was one of the more troubling bills that we saw this session. We also did a bill my goal as the minority leader was to put forth an agenda that was based on affordability. I think those of us in the legislature have an obligation to help people be able to afford to live in this state, to address the issues that affect our pocketbooks. So we put forth an agenda of 11 insurance bills, and not one of them got heard. Nothing was done to change your insurance at all here in the state this year. The feeling in Tallahassee is rates are stabilizing and maybe going down a little bit. But remember, we're already twice the national average. So I'm not happy that we're stabilizing at twice the national average. I think we should have done something on the insurance front. But what we did do is we did a lot of cultural war issues, and one of them had to do with preemption on the city level, and that was we eliminated any ability for a city or county to talk about and have programming that was based on diversity, equity, and inclusion. It is very, very confusing. The bill is, so what happened was we would question the bill sponsor and say, well, is my city allowed to sponsor Black History Month? And so the sponsor would go and make an exception. And he would say, okay, well, if it's a federally recognized holiday, yes, your city can sponsor something. But like, what happens, I know Delray Beach has a huge St. Patrick's Day parade. I don't think that's a federal holiday. So I'm not sure if you guys actually give any money to St. Patrick's Day. You are allowed to have police presence there. We did clarify that. But if you gave any money to the parade, that might be a violation of the DEI. You'll have to really look into that. But there, yeah, it's extra. Like if you sponsor, we ask questions about all different permutations. If you do something that's Latin American, somebody just came up and asked me a question about that. There is an exception for something that's free and open to the public. So maybe the parade would qualify for that. I mean, it's just such a confusing bill, and the end result of having a confusing bill like that is that it has a chilling effect, because you're not going to want to get as involved with it. You'll just go, oh, let's not do that. We don't know what's going on if we're going to get in trouble for doing a bill like that. We also did a couple bills about, let me just go through here and make sure. I did hand you this out, so you have all the preemption bills on here. Oh yes, we did a bill that you have to put certain information about your budget on your website. And there's very specific information. And you also have to do an exercise where you reduce your budget by 10%. You don't have to implement the exercise, but you will have to do the exercise. Yeah. So, I mean, there were things done about permitting. There was discussion about data centers, because there's a big data center supposedly coming into the area off of Southern Boulevard toward the western communities. With data centers, in the end, one of the interesting, they actually left a lot of the data centers to cities and counties, which was surprising and good. So you will, if there are any data centers that want to come into your city, you will have the ability to negotiate with them. One of the things I was disappointed about that was in that bill, originally they had a clause saying that you, the city, could not enter into a non-disclosure agreement with the potential data center, and now they took that out. So you can have a non-disclosure agreement, and the non-disclosure agreement can provide that for up to 1 year you don't have to disclose the location. So I found that pretty troubling. I would hope that if there's going to be a data center where I live, that I would at least know where it's going to be placed. But right now, the way that bill was worded, you have that ability. I don't know, do you provide utilities to any other surrounding communities?
The city of Delray Beach, to a light extent, actually does. We do support
okay.
Gulfstream, for example.
Okay, so there was a bill that limits how much you can charge as a differential to surrounding cities, up to only 25% more of what you charge for your residents. As you can see, a lot of things were done on preemption. I gave everyone, we handed out this. It has also some good bills that were done. We did a bill about coastal resiliency. I passed a couple pieces of legislation, one about domestic violence, one for physical education requirements for students with developmental disabilities who can now use their participation in the Special Olympics. I was really proud of that bill, and we worked with our school board to get that through. We do occasionally do some bills that are a little more lighthearted. Last year and this year we tried, but were unsuccessful, to get the flamingo as our state bird. So we're still stuck with, I think, the mockingbird. We need to get rid of that. So that's kind of in a nutshell what's going on. We did, and I did want to talk about appropriations. We're successful so far, because obviously the budget is not done, but we do have an appropriation for Delray Beach for Swinton Avenue and Atlantic Avenue intersection improvements. Right now in the budget We have 650,000 on the Senate side, nothing on the House, but as long as we're in play in one chamber, that's a good sign, and hopefully when we go back, we'll be able to do that. And we also did get money for Delray Fire and Rescue, Beach Rescue drone program in the House for $338,000. So it's good that we're in play, and hopefully when we go back to Tallahassee, we'll be successful. So that's pretty much a little bit of a nutshell of what happened in our 60 most dangerous days, and I'm happy to answer any questions that anybody has.
Thank you very much. First of all, I mean, I watched very closely what you were doing with on a lot of these bills, and you fought very hard for local rule.
Me too.
You did not mention that you fought also to get some money for our local VFW
Oh, right,
C.
right, oh, right, we talked about that.
And I know that I don't know how it's going to do, and it's not getting a lot of traction, but at least you fought very hard to get some money towards the rehab of that facility, which I personally
feel-
thank you very much for.
Sure, I feel pretty good about it because Joe Casello, who was the state representative who represented this area before Rob Long, who couldn't make it here tonight.
No, he's on his way. He'll be here
Oh,
at
he's-
5:20. I have to
okay.
keep dragging you along.
Okay,
It's like when the TV people
Okay.
say, like, stretch out
All
your
right,
thing.
well,
He's
so
going to be he's on his way.
Rob Long took over, and he was also instrumental in that. And we are talking about naming the center for Joe Casello. So I'm hopeful.
Yeah, I was
that
happy
we
to write
can
a letter
get
in
it.
support
Yeah,
of that. I
good,
just think
yeah.
that, whatever
Yeah.
we can do to make that lodge,
Right, okay, good.
be up
I
and
forgot
running is
about
great.
that.
But you've done a great job. So let me, Pat, any of the commissioner, any comments from Commissioner?
No, thank you
Molly?
for being here and for updating us into a lot of the things that have been concerning me for a long time, particularly the DEI, which could extend to the menorah lighting or a lot of other things.
Right.
So,
Well, they excluded religion, believe it or not.
oh, they did.
They did exclude religion.
Isn't
Okay.
St. Patrick's Day a religion? I mean, it's a saint in religion. I mean, I'm not saying that because I'm Irish, but,
Right.
For you it is. For you it
for me
is.
it's a religion.
Yeah.
And I know that government can't advertise about like the property taxes or anything if something's on the ballot, but can't we make some proactive steps towards it prior to that?
Yeah, you have to be careful.
Okay.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
very.
We'll talk with the city manager. He's shaking his head. He understands. I mean, right now, certainly you can do anything you want because there's nothing on the ballot right now.
Right.
So you can be telling people, be careful what you wish for, because we all want lower property taxes. All right, he's
Mr.
here.
Long
We
has
just
entered the
talked about it.
auditorium.
Your name
Mr. Mayor,
was,
I'd like to chime in on a couple points if I may.
Sure.
And-
Well, can I let the commission finish their
Of course you can.
Commissioner Casal?
Thank you. I appreciate you coming here. And the preemptions. I mean, we are by constitutional right, we are entitled to home rule, and we're losing it every single day. It's frightening. A lot of pro-development. 180 and 803, 927 every single day. Land use is one of our most valuable tools, and we're losing control over it. That concerns me. But the biggest problem, and every time anybody comes, and Rob knows what I'll say exactly about Live Local, it doesn't work for us. They're making these laws to cover the whole state, but they don't work. We're at build out. We need to be so selective about what we're doing, and we can't afford to lose industrial land use to residential apartments. But the biggest problem, I think, when you're telling people to pay attention, and this is what people may not really know, is how we are being forced to cooperate, because incorporated in every one of these laws is terminology that says if your municipal elected officials do not follow this, they can be removed from
Yeah,
office.
absolutely.
They can be
Right. And
found.
the
they
DEI bill includes that
Yes,
also.
you can be fined
Yeah.
daily. You can even be charged
Yes.
criminally. This is
Right.
shocking to me.
It is.
Yes,
It is. I
I know.
100% agree with you.
I don't
and it's
see an
all
end to
done
it
to
either.
chill. It's a chilling effect. That's why
100%.
done.
It's
Yeah.
concerning. So thank you for your time, and I always appreciate your hard work.
Thank you.
Commissioner Burns?
Yes, I just wanted to say thank you as well, Senator Berman, for bringing this information to us, and thank you for your briefing so that I can internalize this and share it with my community. But yeah, and thank you so much for the work that you've done for defending home rule for us, because, as my colleagues say, we're losing it day by day. So thank you.
You're welcome. Hi, Rob.
Commissioner Marker.
I don't have anything further other than to say thank you very, very much for the tireless work that you do. We really appreciate it. And Rob, things are going way better without you up here. I just want to throw that out.
Okay. All right. Should we?
Mr. Mayor?
Senator?
Yep.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Mr. Moore.
Thank you. And thank you, Senator Berman. We interact pretty well, working closely with ballot partners, so thank you for the good work. So my interest at this time is to chime in relative to the educational piece you just talked about. Commissioner Malika, of course, you're in orientation mode. We're spending time together. The best way to achieve that is via the annual proposed budget process or quarterly biannual updates regarding financial conditions of the city as it relates to property taxes, revenue forecasting analysis, impacts that may be achieved in that regard. That's a great way to educate the community, the commission, residents, stakeholders, etc., without compromising our inability to directly market or directly ask residents or stakeholders to take a particular position. So there's approaches we have in mind, and there's actually a couple templates we've developed, myself working with Chief Financial Officer Henry Dakowitz. Should any specific consideration come available,
That's great.
we'll be able to showcase for the city of Delray Beach what the financial impacts would be. So from an educational community update standpoint, there's some strategies we'll be able to execute without compromising ourselves legally.
Right. That's
Number
great.
one.
That's
Yes,
a great
ma'am.
point. And I know the league has been doing that. The League of Cities has been doing that also. Yeah,
Exactly.
statewide.
So we're all in alignment in that regard, and that's what we'll bring to the city of Delray Beach if necessary. In addition, you talked a little bit about the diversity, equity, inclusion adjustments having been made by the Florida legislature. It's all to become effective January 1, 2027. My review of the background and material, I highlight that because a couple of you all made faces here at the dais when you commented in your presentation as to what the impacts are in that regard. So, not sweating 2026, however, we have to prepare ourselves accordingly, and we are in fact beginning at this time.
Great.
So thank you.
Wonderful.
Thank you, Senator. And I just want to, on a personal note, you worked very hard, and I was so happy it was passed, the bill related to domestic violence.
Yes.
I think that is such a serious issue in this country that it goes largely ignored because they're confined within families. But it's
Yeah.
the work that you did, the bill that was passed is by the way, I think it could have gone farther. But it was
right. It was, well, they're doing a study.
It was a great first step.
Right. They're doing the study. So just to explain to everybody about my bill, what the bill says is we need to do a study to create a phone number for someone who's in a domestic violence situation, which would be a panic button kind of number that would go to the police. It will not be 911. When you call 911 and your perpetrator sees that you called 911, the violence escalates, and it's very, very lethal and dangerous. This way, you would have a phone number. You put it in your phone as your friend Susie. You know, somebody's and no one picks up. There's no voice on the other side. So if somebody grabs your phone, oh, Susie didn't answer or whatever, and the police come immediately to where you are. So we're hoping that will happen. It was a first step, and I think really
that's a great bill,
happy about it.
and Representative Long, you were a big supporter too. So I think this is people don't realize these are the kind of the bread and butter things that make up a community, and they go largely ignored because they're not fashionable.
Right.
But I want to thank you very much for the work you did on that
And
bill.
last week, you all may have seen in the paper that very disturbingly and very sadly, a city commissioner from Carl Springs was shot to death by her husband. And it only highlights how domestic violence is so prevalent and across every part of our cities and counties. So whatever we can do, I said in my speech, I'm very tired of reading in the newspaper about another one of these incidents, and I would love for us to not have to read about these incidents anymore. So
well, thank you very much for all the work you did on that. Really, thank you so very much.
Oh, no, I didn't do the presentation. You can do that.
And now, we welcome back to the podium
Boy, it's weird being down here.
Representative Robert Long.
So, Rob Long.
Rob Long.
It's 33445, right? We're just doing zip codes now, right?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, that's. So well, anyway, I did the same thing to Senator Berman at BPOA last week, where I showed up right as she was finishing, but then I delivered a completely redundant presentation. I'm not going to do that here, though.
Good, well, because I got the gavel.
Yeah, I know. You're quick with the gavel. But anyway, thank you. Great to see you, Mayor, and this esteemed commission, and of course the illustrious city manager. I had to use a big word to introduce Terrence, but and congratulations to Vice Mayor Burns, and congratulations to Commissioner Malika. So I'll be quick because I just have a couple things to add. I'm sure Senator Berman, we have a road show now, so I kind of know the whole routine. I usually just tack on a few quick things at the end because the senator, the pro here, I'm just a rookie, really does a really comprehensive job of covering everything that's been going on. I'm sure she alluded to the fact that we didn't get much done this session. We're going to be heading back up there in 2 weeks, and so we'll probably have a follow-up update for you after the budget shakes out and we talk about property taxes, and we do this congressional redistricting for some reason 5 years before the census. Go figure. So, but I did want to. I heard you guys talk about home rule a little bit and some of the ridiculous preemptions that we're seeing. This I know how well versed this commission is and well educated this commission is, and the city is in terms of home rule and preemptions. And I haven't seen so much preemptions that impact municipalities as I've seen this session. And I know that House Bill 803 in particular is going to have a direct impact on this city's ability to build the new Development Services Annex that I know you guys are looking at, which is extremely disappointing. And that DEI bill that the senator talked about, we don't even fully understand the impacts of that yet and how many events that could impact in our city. So it's extremely disappointing. But I will thank the senator because luckily the Senate blocked a lot of the worst bills passed by the House. So thank God we have the Senate. But a few bad ones obviously still made it through. But one highlight I'll leave you all with that was one of the good things that happened. As you all know, I was serving for our late Representative Joe Casello's what would have been his last year of his final term. And we ended up passing a bill that we named the Joe Casello Act. And it was a really emotional, bipartisan moment at the legislature. And it's something that I know is important to this city because it deals with PFAS. And you guys have all been leaders in terms of dealing with PFAS, which is the forever chemicals. That they call them that because once they're in your body, once they're in the groundwater, they're extremely hard to get out, linked to cancer rates and all kinds of bad stuff. The bill had to do with something I was actually able to work with the late Rep. Casello on years ago, which was eliminating the AFFF foam from training that the firefighters use in their training. And Joe and I had worked on this back in 2022. He ran it then. It didn't move, unfortunately. This year I was able to bring it back up, and it was kind of got carried across the finish line by another group, and it ended up being something that we all co-sponsored from the floor. The entire House did, and we named it the Joe Casello Act, passed unanimously through both houses. It was a great way, a really meaningful way to do something to respect not only the late representative, but to all of our firefighters. So that was one of the positive things. I'll leave you guys here on a positive note, but as always, great to be here, and I'll see y'all in a few weeks, I'm sure.
Thank you. Stay there. We got any questions for Representative Long?
No questions.
I want to thank you, and I thank Senator Berman for your initiative to try to get some money for the VFWC here in Delray Beach. I don't know whether it's going to ultimately pass, but at least it's a start. It's got it on the radar screen, and I think it's a very important initiative that this gets done, and I appreciate it. I know it didn't get it through a bill, but you somehow got it on the appropriations list, and it suddenly got on the House bill. So
with the senator's help, we got it in the budget, and we'll see if it stays in the budget, and then if we can make it past the veto pen, we're good to go. But even if we don't, we got a new governor next year, and the fact that it made it into the budget this year is a good sign.
That's my
point. We'll have another chance.
We made a great start. So I want to thank you very much, because I know that was your initiative, and Senator Berman, I already thanked you. So thank you both very much. No other comments? No. Thank you, Representative, Senator, for
good to see you.
The briefing. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
I'd like to ask the Commission to indulge a request. So the next item on the agenda is the current point in time homelessness census count estimates presentation. However, we have a presentation to Priscilla Patrick for an exemplary employee performance award I recognize a number of employees from the city, notably the Department of Parks and Recreation, are here to celebrate her recognition. So I would like to ask if the commission would allow that presentation to take place first, which would be brief, but it does accommodate the schedule of the staff who are in attendance to
You raising your hand?
recognize her.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing because I think there's babies over there waiting for the
Yes, ma'am.
presentation.
You don't want to
Yes,
hear us
ma'am.
keep talking
Let's
up here?
move it.
Okay, I got you.
Do it.
So
Good
with the
idea,
with the
Mr.
consensus of the commission, we're going to reverse 4D
Yes.
and 4C. So we're going to hear now
Yes.
4D, the presenting Priscilla Patrick with the Exemplary Employee Performance Award.
Hey, good afternoon. Lachey King, Human Resources, Employee Engagement Administrator, here to recognize Priscilla Patrick as exemplary employee. But first, we're going to call up Amy Hansen and Prentice Mobley to tell you what she did to deserve this recognition.
I'm Amy Hansen, the Assistant Director of Parks and Recreation. I was just reminded to keep it very brief by Priscilla. So we're going to get half of what I originally planned. I don't know if you were given the memo, but we wrote a 2-page memo instead of a 1-page memo because of all the wonderful things Priscilla has done for our department. Priscilla, I'm sorry you're behind me, but it's okay. There you go. Okay. So Priscilla is always on the phone. And she is constantly solving problems for people walking through the door, for boaters. For those of you that aren't aware what Priscilla does, she now is our official marina person. She was our... So she handles all the concerns, questions, and new exciting things at our marina. So a lot of the city uses, well, all of us use NeoGov for all of our wonderful things our employees do. You have the option as a supervisor or anyone in the city to say good things about someone by putting a journal entry in. Some people get 2 to 3 a year. In the 10 years that I've been working with Priscilla, she's had 51.
Wow.
51. And those are, right, they are walk-ins, they are emails, they are phone calls, but it's something that she gets recognized a lot for. So that's one of the many things we wanted to bring to your attention. This shows that she has exemplary customer service. She doesn't say no. She goes to the next level. Anytime someone has a question, she's on the phone. She's going to find out where they are, where they need to go. She never says no. That's just one small thing. I know, Priscilla, I'm taking a while. I'm sorry. She's dependable. She's reliable. Consistently demonstrates a positive attitude and cooperative spirit. She is the team player. We utilize RecTrack, PayTrack, WebTrack. Those are all the registration programs, online and in person, that we utilize. Priscilla is a super user. So she is constantly helping teammates get through the registration process, correct in issues that we've had in the past. She's constantly on the phone for that. I know, I'm sorry, kind of short. Priscilla is our credit card guru. And if you think about how large the city's Parks and Recreation Department is, especially if you've been to any of our events, you'll know just how many purchases we do. Priscilla, up until this point that she's now working specifically for the marina, was in charge of all of our credit cards. If you were to talk to Sam, who was responsible for signing every credit card receipt, that was one of his least favorite days. She would come in with a large bundle and quantity, and each one would have to be signed. So Priscilla was responsible for taking those in, making sure they were correct, correcting mistakes, going back and finding out what the issues were. So that in itself was a task. This was not her original duty. We've had people leave the department, and she has continued to pick up all of their job responsibilities. So that is just naming a few that she has done. And I also don't want to take all of them away from Prentice, because Prentice is also going to speak, so I'm going to step down. But we love Priscilla. She's fabulous, and she is an integral part of our department. She definitely deserves this award.
Good evening, Prentice Mobley, Recreation Superintendent. You know, when you put things together, you have certain adhesives, and you might have some bubble gum. People like me, you have hot glue, you have duct tape, you might have super glue, Gorilla Glue, My favorite that I put on my hand, you can peel it off, Elmo's glue, right? But in our department, we have Priscilla glue, right? She has the ability to bring our department together in many different ways by some of the things that Amy mentioned that she does. Many different things, very flexible, wears many different hats, and is a prime example of an exemplary employee if I had to give it to anybody. And we appreciate her so much. I appreciate her so much. She was working under me for about 4, 5, 6 years as I've been superintendent. And it's a very valuable part of our organization and how we operate daily. So I appreciate you with the beet juice and introducing me to the different restaurants and so forth. And she also has a thing when she goes to the same restaurant every day, five times a week. But that's here nor there. Like I said, I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. I try to throw a little entertainment in there as always. But we do appreciate Priscilla. Thank you for what you do for our Parks and Recreation Department, and you appreciate it. Thank you.
So, Priscilla, on behalf of the entire city of Delray Beach and personally signed by the city manager, we would like to present to you the Exemplary Employee Award.
Thank you.
Thank you guys, I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Priscilla.
That's great.
3, 2, 1.
Thank you very much, and thank you so much for your service. We are now going to do the current point in time, the homeless census. That Mr. Ezra Krieg, you are making the presentation with Ariana. Yes, the two of you. There you go. I knew that seeing you both sitting next to each other. But
He started. Do we have a clicker?
and of course, Chief Hunter.
You have a clicker? The Palm Beach County Homeless and Housing Alliance did not do a 2026 point-in-time count this year, as it was not required by HUD, and resource constraints made it challenging for them. Instead, efforts were redirected towards higher impact priorities focused on system performance and policy alignments and measurable outcomes. Despite those factors, the Delray Beach Police Department remains fully committed to ensuring an accurate and accountable understanding of the homeless and unhoused populations within the city of Delray Beach. Since the establishment of our community outreach program in 2017, we have been at the forefront in addressing the needs and challenges of this population with intention and purpose. The forefront in addressing the needs and challenges of this population with intention and purpose. This is a testament to the resolve through the presentation you will hear tonight about the impact and the work of our community outreach team in the city of Delray Beach. Their efforts strengthen the partnerships, enhancing public safety, and helping us to move closer.
That's me. Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners, and even your newest commissioner who made an unfortunate choice of choosing a service organization many years ago. Thank you for this opportunity to present to you what is happening with the Delray Beach Initiative to End Homelessness. Why are we here? We're here because about 8 years ago, through enlightened leadership of then Chief Jeff Goldman and members of his staff, most predominantly now Chief Daryl Hunter, a group of people were brought together to try to see what could be done positively and proactively about a issue that we had in the city, which was a growing homeless population. Chief Goldman understood that previous attempts throughout the United States to arrest your way out of homelessness, which was generally what citizens requested. They'd say, you have homeless people, arrest them, doesn't work, and didn't work. And he and Chief Hunter were looking for better ways to deal with it. And from that initial meeting is now an organization that we're very proud to have in our city, which is the only municipality in Palm Beach County that has an organization of its type. And the crux of the organization is that if we wait for the federal government to solve our problems, we're going to keep waiting. And if we wait for the state to solve our problems, we're going to keep waiting. And if we wait for the county to solve our problems, we're going to keep waiting. That it was important for Delray people to take care of the issue in Delray Beach. And thus, over 100 individuals and organizations have come together to try to address the problem in our community.
Yeah, that's it.
You're this one.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. And so these are some of the organizations that are involved. Not all of them are here, but it gives you a sense of the types of organizations that are involved that work together. And the theory, again, was that each organization does something really good. And if we could get those organizations to do the things they do really good and then work with other organizations to do other things really good, we could stretch our resources and try to, again, address the problem in a positive and proactive way.
Hi, everyone. So some of the services that we do provide for the residents of our city, we do meals, showers. We have a laundry truck and a shower truck twice a week on Tuesdays and Fridays in the morning. They do haircuts. We provide clean clothing, backpacks, toiletries, transportation. If they need to get to doctor's appointments and job interviews only, we can get a bus pass. Access to all the medical services, substance use, and behavioral health. I believe in wraparound services. We don't have a lot of wraparound services in Palm Beach County, so when we really get together and we have one fixed site and we can bring all the resources in one place to provide people access to resources, that's what we do there. We actually provide mail for people that have been in Delray for over 6 months that do not have an address. We can help get them their birth certificates, their food stamps, and they can get their mail at this one local address. We provide housing assistance, homeless prevention, and much, much more. With the homeless prevention, we partner with the Interfaith Committee for Social Services, which is our local nonprofit. They have received many grants over the last year and provided over $50,000 to our homeless residents, to our homeless prevention residents. And when we talk about homeless prevention from our outreach team, we have an advocate who will sit in the communities at least twice a month that will talk to the residents about like how their light bills are getting paid, make sure that they're budgeted. The property managers will sometimes call us and say, hey, listen, this resident seems to be alone, their bills are late, this has never happened, can you go in there and talk to them? And we do whatever we can to prevent them being the next homeless out on the street in the city. Diversion. Diversion is basically designed to not have people enter into the system. So if somebody shows up in the city and they've never been homeless before and they just got kicked out or they left a sober home, we don't want to put them into the shelters. We don't want to get them all caught up into the services because sometimes when they get in, it's very difficult to get out. So our first line of action is really try to divert them. Find families, find friends, find case managers from other agencies where they have been connected to. So it's a model that we do here. It's a model that's done all over Palm Beach County. It's a model that's done all over the state and the country. And it really works. We do traveler's aid. If somebody has a family member in another state, like recently we had someone who came down here 3 years ago for treatment. They left treatment and they were kind of wandering around, and he's like, I just miss my family, I want to go back. So I called the brother, and are you willing to take him? I think he was in Missouri. He said, absolutely. Our officer drove him to the train station. We got the Greyhound, thank God for the Interfaith Committee's funds. We were able to get him on that train, and he made it in 3 days, our bus back to Missouri, and he reunited. And we don't send people to other cities that don't have a place to go, because it's irresponsible to send homeless people to other cities to be homeless, because we don't want them to do it to us. So that's the purpose of diversion. And why do we do this, Ezra?
Okay. Let me just, before I address that, the homeless prevention, again, our goal is to reduce the homeless population in Delray Beach. And one of the lessons we've learned is one of the best ways to reduce homelessness in Delray Beach is to prevent people from becoming homeless in the first place. And so through incredible effort of the Interfaith Committee for Social Services, we've raised nearly $100,000, of which we've spent about $50,000 to prevent 54 families in our southern Palm Beach County from becoming homeless. Those are 54 families that do not become homeless on the streets. And we've got a great committee that works on this on a virtually daily basis, making sure that we're keeping our residents in their homes. But why do we do this? We do this because Delray Beach is a great place to live, it's a great place to work, and it's a great place to play. And it should be a great place for all of its citizens, the people who have the most and the people who have the least. But a lot of the people who are involved are do-gooders. I happen not to be one of the do-gooders. I'm a pragmatist. I think that if one of the issues that we were told by the city when we got started was that, we have homeless people all over and it's causing all sorts of problems. And one of the solutions that we came up with is to help make these people invisible. So we provide showers, and we provide clean clothes, and we provide laundry, and we provide food, and we provide a lot of what we do so that you don't complain about them anymore. Because if you can't tell that they're homeless, then it ain't homeless people that you're complaining about. And so that is part of the motivation of what we do. But in the room, we have a number of people, and I hope you'll take a moment and stand. Shona and
Reverend
Judy.
Rabbi Ma, I know your group.
There are a number of people, and thank you, folks. There are a number of people in this room who are involved in this effort. And it's not, it's a group. This is why Delray Beach is so special, because we're able to bring people together to accomplish a goal. Next slide.
Am I really getting cut off at 1:30?
No.
Okay. I have a
No,
short...
1:23 at this point.
Okay. I have a little bit more time. I got to go on here. So I always like to present a story of how we collaborated on someone's real story. And I have been given permission by the person to share their personal information because it gets a little in depth. And I just want to share this very quickly. Delray Beach Police Department first encountered our friend Freddie when a patrol officer was performing his daily patrol through a local area in the city. He stopped to check on Freddie, who was sitting in a parking lot alone. After gaining Freddie's trust, he opened up to him about his recent experiences, which landed him without income, transportation, or housing. He lived in the city of Delray since 2008, and he was evicted in September of 2025. Knowing the work of the community outreach team, that officer made a referral to us. And Officer Jaworski and Advocate Samantha White went out there, responded, spoke with him, asked him about what's going on, and they quickly transported him over to the Caring Kitchen Lunch, where we all met. We introduced him to the homeless outreach team of Palm Beach County. In turn, knowing his medical diagnoses, they referred him to the Ryan White program. I did the same thing as well. This is a county program. It's for people who are diagnosed with HIV. We both made the same referral because we knew what they would pick up the phone for one of us. So while he's waiting for housing, we were able to get him a bicycle. In the meantime,
his driver's license had been suspended. He needed to pay the fines. We were trying to figure out how to get the fines paid. We got him food stamps, and just a few months after the initial contact, the Ryan White program came through. They showed up at the police department, they did his interview, and by January, they placed him in a motel for 2 weeks, and then they put him in permanent supportive housing. And now he's living in his own apartment. He has a full-time job in one of our local businesses. He's supporting himself, and he's doing wonderfully. And it's all because you guys allow us to do what we do and really help our residents. So I want to introduce you to Freddie. Because I know we talk about these stories, but we never really get to see the real person behind it. So Freddie is a real person, and we're So the next slide, our numbers. So these are our point-in-time numbers from 2023 all the way to 2026. As you see, they have gone up, they've gone down. This year we had 94. Since the county canceled theirs, we did our own. We had 3 officers, 3 advocates. We went out for 16 hours. We counted every single person we could possibly find. We did 79 actual interviews. 15 people were observations. Of those 15 people, 14 of them we had never seen again. 16 people of the 94 we'd never met before. 79, 15 observations. You want to explain the additional why our numbers are up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you may look at that chart and say you went from 106 to 70 to 94. You know, why did that happen? There are a couple of factors involved. Number one, in 2025 was when House Bill 1065 came through, which was an enforcement issue on homelessness, essentially making homelessness illegal in the state of Florida. There was a lot of fear among the population, so that they wouldn't allow us to count them, because they didn't know, especially with uniformed officers, whether that was going to lead to an arrest. Additionally, there were immigration fears that happened. The other reason why the numbers have gone up is because our economy is getting more and more expensive, and people are falling over the edge. And so we know that is also adding to the numbers that we have. We think that our count of 94 is pretty accurate. We know that of the 94, as Ariana has just told you, some of those people we counted that day we've never seen again. And one of the secret sauces of what we do is we know all of our homeless population in this city. We know them by name. We know their backgrounds. We know where they're from, et cetera, et cetera. So the fact that we saw random people on that particular day, and we haven't seen them again, means that they're transient and probably never to come back again.
Right. And we always have to remind everyone, we have many agencies in our city that people will come in and out of the city for. We have the Drug Abuse Foundation, where it's accessible from every city in the entire county. We have South County Mental Health, Delray Medical Center, and Fair Oaks. We have the Healthcare District, the courthouse, the library. So we have all these different agencies where people are coming in, and Palm Tran.
It's just right
So
there.
I know for a fact that I interviewed 2 people who were sitting on the bench at Palm Tran. They were homeless, but not necessarily homeless in our city, but you have to do an honest count, and it's where their feet are planted at that moment. So we make sure that we give the most accurate number.
I know we've got some stuff in this week. I got to deliver yesterday.
As far as the numbers of placements in shelter, all the other cities are catching on. Like a lot of other teams are up and running right now and really pushing people into the shelter. And I think with all the funding too, people are keeping people in the shelter a little longer, so it's been a little harder to get people into shelter. And as far as housing, we only got 2 in housing so far. We know what housing is like right now. There's no inventory. So we're having a hard time, just like everybody else, looking for affordable housing.
But
and any questions?
Any questions from any of the commissioners?
They were here. Yeah, we got
I don't have a thank you.
And they were here.
I know you got your hands up.
I don't have any questions, but I just wanted to say that, I've had the opportunity to attend your meetings over the last 3 years. I've also you know, been involved with some donations, but I wanted to just point out that I called Ariana. The work they do is just is amazing. I had a homeless young man call me who had been living in his car for a year and a half. His mother died. He was living with his grandmother. His grandmother died a year and a half, and he has medical issues. Within 48 hours, he called me in just tears. He was born and raised in Delray. However, he found housing, or you found him housing in Belle Glade, but he was happy to have a home, and he's doing well. And I thank you. I thank you. I thank you. It's just amazing the work that you do and the dedication that, you know, all of the agencies that come and sit around that table. I was being highly recruited by Boca to come to their housing, their homelessness. I was like, look, you need to come to Delray because it's we have it going on here. Like, we already have a very powerful homeless organization, and so I think they are attending. I think I picked in one day and I saw the person who was recruiting me sitting at the table, so they took my advice. But thank you so much for what you do. Thank you. Chief Ezra, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else who wish to be recognized?
Yes,
you may be recognized.
So, you guys are heroes. Thank you so much. I'm so proud of all the work that you do. While you just impressed me with some of those numbers, you also gave me hope, and that's what you give the population as hope. So thank you for all you do.
Everybody gets antsy when they start coming out. I'd also like to say thank you. I know, Ariana, you and I worked on a family of 6 a year or so ago. It was a really tough situation that I uncovered, and you helped me find a situation that worked for that very young family, and I can never thank you enough for that. And it just showed me you all 3 of you are doing God's work, and thank you.
You know, I can't toot the horn enough for Delray Beach, and you talk about us being the only really one in Palm Beach County that's doing this, and we are. This chamber and others have talked about what we do with this 16 square miles, 4x4 miles, you know, is incredible with all the not-for-profits we're doing. Ezra, I would, knowing you for as long as I have, I would actually put you in the good guy category. I will, and of course you were right about, because you're a Kiwanian, I would certainly understand that you would meet that. That's an inside joke for the rest of you. But, you know, the Interfaith Committee, the work you do with the Interfaith Committee, Rabbi Moss has left, but I know the work he does in it, and the rest of you, I just think is tremendous, and I just applaud you for all the work that you do, because it's actually never enough.
Thank you.
Could I?
Do you wish to be recognized?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, just.
I just also want to make sure that we also thank the Caring Kitchen, because they're the ones who are feeding our homeless every day. And I feel like when the homeless are fed in an indoor space with air conditioning, it's less likely they're going to go out and steal things for food. So I'm just always so
I neglected.
grateful
I had that
to
on my
the
thing. I neglected to
agencies
say it. So thank you.
that do feed, because it diverts things from other things happening.
Commissioner Casal, you wish to be
Yes,
recognized?
no, I
or-
was just also thank you. You know, I'm so fond of you and your organization and everyone. I've sat at your table and I've seen the collaboration, and it's so successful. And I've called you many times with a homeless family, and within moments, everybody's coming together to try and figure out how to affect change. And I guess we need to remind ourselves that the only thing stopping us is more housing.
Yeah.
Because people sometimes mistakenly believe that if you're homeless, it's because you're not capable of living in a house. But many of these people are very capable. They just struggle, and things build, and then they're so far behind they can't figure out how to catch up. And I wish it would be nice if we could do more, you know. Thank you.
Well, that's a great introduction to the last slide, because there are ways that people here, people who are watching, and you as commissioners can do. We hope that you'll, consider making a donation to one of the service providers, Caring Kitchen, all the various groups that are out there that are working. We hope that if there is an issue of someone who is unhoused in our community, that you'll contact the homeless outreach team of the Delray Beach Police Department, because that's our entree point to be able to do things. We hope that if you see illegal activity or problems in the community, that you'll report them, because we want our community to be safe for everyone. And we hope that you'll take a moment and learn more about homeless-related issues. And to the commissioners directly, continue to support the incredible work of Chief Hunter and his department, because this could not be done without an incredible Delray Beach Police Department. And I invite all of you to help honor that police department tomorrow morning, 7:30 in the morning, at the Drug Abuse Foundation, where we have our annual Police Appreciation Breakfast. Thank you very much for the time.
Sponsored by the Kiwanis of Delray Beach, by the way.
Thank you very much, Mayor.
Thank you all. All right, next is the comments and inquiries on agenda and non-agenda items for the public. The city manager, first with the response to inquiries and highlights.
Yes, so I have 3, and the first couple are fairly succinct. And I made a commitment a few weeks ago to facilitate an update regarding the buy-low market and some of the issues and challenges that have been experienced in the surrounding vicinity as well. Likewise, I've asked Director of Neighborhood and Community Services Jerry Pryor, as well as members of her team, to be here. We have Henry Thompson, Phil Cartwright, and others who are in position to offer a brief yet substantive update in terms of progress to date, as well as some clarity in terms of what capabilities are and are not. Ms. Pryor, if you would, please.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Commissioner, Mayor, Ms. Malika. It's so good to see you up there. I also want to introduce the code enforcement leadership team. Without this team, code enforcement would be in a worse place, and it's not. Because this team, we're in a better place. So Henry Thompson, Clean and Safe Supervisor, interim code enforcement supervisor. Oh, sorry, I downgraded you, and then I'm going to upgrade you again. I'm sorry, code enforcement interim administrator, Phil Cartwright, and then interim code enforcement supervisor, Joe Oliva. And absent tonight is the new nighttime code enforcement supervisor, LaToya Thompson. All right, so as the city manager said, we received from a resident questions and inquiries about 2 specific properties in the neighborhood that they wanted code enforcement to look at. Couple things before I start on the presentation. We are regulated, code enforcement's regulated by Chapter 162 of the Florida statute. Within that Florida statute, it says that we must allow property owners to voluntarily comply whatever code ordinance that is in violation. So that is the first caveat. We always try to do voluntary compliance with the property owners. Second, property owners have a right to due process, okay? And meaning that they have a right to be heard in a special magistrate process. These 2 code cases that we will talk to you about tonight, they're active code violations. So my request is that you hear the presentation, but please don't offer any kind of suggestions or any kind of things moving forward, because I want to protect the integrity of our code enforcement process as outlined in our Chapter 162. So next slide. Who's the slide person? You know how to do it, sir. So the buy-low market. So this was brought up as a concern, and a little bit of background on buy-low market. It was established as a merchant retail in 2019. It's a mixed use, meaning that there is residential units on top on the 2nd floor. The zoning district is central business. They have a valid business tax. Expires on September 30th, 2026. There is currently a new tenant that has opened a business tax license as of March 30th. And as of today, they are starting to move merchandise and things into the store, and they are allowed to do so. So next slide. So currently there's 3 sections of the code that is in violation in the property. The first one, we issued the notice of violation on March 18th. And through our Clean and Safe division, because this is part of the Clean and Safe footprint. Section, removal of signs, required maintenance of the building, and then restrictions on outside usage, i.e. storage on the outside of the property. Voluntary compliance is set as April 26th. The case is scheduled for special magistrate provided that voluntary compliance was not achieved. And that's that due process that we were talking about. Here's some photos of what Code Officer Connor Lee took for the code case. Next. And then the next property was 240 Northwest 8th Ave. It's a residential property. The zoning district is single family. It was quit claim deed in February 25th, 2025 to a corporation out of New Jersey. And then the active code violations is landscape maintenance, maintenance of the building. Voluntary compliance was set for April 11th. And if it is not achieved, then they're scheduled to attend and be heard on April 16th at the special magistrate hearing. And then some photos of this. I can advise you, as of today, both properties were re-inspected. Both property owners are working towards voluntary compliance. And that's all I have. And these are all of our contacts. Henry Thompson, Phil Cartwright, and myself.
Great, Mr. City Manager.
So that's where we are, ladies and gentlemen. So as Ms. Pryor emphasized in her presentation and comments, cases are pending. I think all that's been done legally is being executed quite well. And gentlemen, thank you all for the good work in terms of getting us to this place. And I hope this feedback and update is valued and appreciated, because there is in fact a path forward, and all involved will remain vigilant to continue to do what's appropriate in terms of this area as well as other vicinities of the community that requires attention.
Thank you for the presentation. Very important to that community in that neighborhood.
So, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Yes, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. The next item is actually pretty brief. So, going back to approximately mid-February, the mid to latter part of February 2026, a number of you all had received email communications from residents and stakeholders concerned regarding quality of life impacts relative to the Atlantic Crossing project, notably loud noise activity and other issues and challenges. I've spoken to a couple of you all individually about that, so we were able to take time to work with leadership of Edwards Company. They are the Columbus, Ohio-based developer involved in this particular project, and frankly, they've been fairly responsive in terms of following up with the Office of the City Manager as well as leadership of both Public Works and Development Services to address any specific concerns that had been experienced. Notably is the noise related to the installation of sheet piling having been experienced back in February into March. So we're pleased to report that that phase of construction activity has concluded, likewise greatly subsiding issues and challenges that had been experienced up until that point. My office actually hosted a meeting to include leadership of Development Services and Public Works to address a number of other safety concerns outside of the Atlantic Crossing projects to likewise anticipate additional relief and responsiveness to the area. So I just wish to offer that update to the City Commission. However, residents, stakeholders expressing concerns to many of you all, if not all, in addition to other members of the community, have been appreciative of our efforts to date, and they were thankful as a result. And finally, a brief update from Director of Public Works, Missy Barletto, concerning Pompey Park renovation project. The fact that progressive momentum currently remains the case, and we are here to briefly update the commission so that you all can feel comfortable advising any concerned members of the community or elsewhere that we are in fact moving forward with the project implementation and a lot of the good work that has been done on a preliminary basis to get there. So Ms. Barletto, if you would be so kind to briefly update the commission.
Excuse me, could I just ask a couple questions on Atlantic Crossing before you jump to the next
Yes, you may be
subject?
recognized.
Please.
Thank you, Mayor. The sheet piling, though, that's a 4-phase project. They're working on, I think, the 3rd phase in the front. Are they going to do more sheet piling in the 4th phase? So that's completely done. Because I will say, having been over there, and I think Election Day, Judy, you were standing over there with a friend of mine, and she said it was just unbelievable the amount of noise going on consistently all day long. And while I appreciate that, that doesn't qualify under our ordinance as noise. Construction noise is permitted during
Correct.
certain hours, regardless of the decibel level. If I lived there, I would be very unhappy too. So I don't know, thinking about whatever developments we approve in the future, I think we need to consider these factors, even how it's phased, right? Maybe residential always goes in first because it's the moneymaker, but maybe at the end of the day, there needs to be some more considerations with that. And then the other question is, should there be some, I know these are permitted things, but the decibel readings we were getting were in the 110, 120 numbers by people's phones, which we can't rely on because they don't do the A and the C or the A and the B. I'm saying that it was a lot of noise and it was for a very long period of time. I'm glad it's over and I'm sure the residents are thrilled.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Ms. Barletta, if you would, please.
Okay, so about Pompey Park, I have been made aware that there are some rumors out there in the community that this project is not moving forward. I would like to allay those rumors for commission right now. The project is moving forward. One of the things that is different when we do a construction manager at risk contract is that the first few months of the contract, we sit down with the design engineers and architects and the construction company, and we work out all of the potential conflicts ahead of time so that when we start to do construction, those things have been majorly resolved in advance. And then we also arrive at a guaranteed maximum price. We will be bringing that next phase. The contracts are done in 2 phases. One phase to develop the guaranteed maximum price, and the second phase to start construction. We'll be bringing that guaranteed maximum price piece to commission in the middle of next month. We'll do that in a joint City Commission CRA board meeting. And just to add to the guarantee that this project is going forward, we have already started spending money on the construction. So there are things that are happening on the site. We have contracted with Florida Power and Light and have paid in advance for the permanent power to the new building. We have on your agenda tonight, there's a temporary easement to Florida Power and Light in order to provide the temporary power to keep the existing building air conditioned and comfortable while the construction of the new building is going on. So there's no reason to believe that the project is not going to happen.
Thank you.
Great. Mr. Moore, anything else?
I yield at this time, actually. Otherwise, thank you, Ms. Perlotto. And again, speaking to a couple of you all individually, we thought it was very important that we highlight and underscore the progress actually been made because it's pretty significant. And we look forward to sometime next month making the next leap forward. And you are therefore now empowered to feel free to offer clarification any of you all deem appropriate in your individual capacities.
Right. Are there any commissioners wishing to get recognized to provide clarity or other things as described?
No, I had no idea that was
Thank you. I mean, we also sit as a CRA board, so we're aware of some of the issues as it relates to it. And so it would be wonderful to see, to get invited to the groundbreaking.
I have faith. We're going to do it.
Great. Thank you so much, Ms. Barletta. Sorry, did you?
I was just saying that I talked to Mr. Moore and Ms. Barletto, and I appreciate the information that I got, so I'm patiently waiting for the meeting. So, thank you
very much. Okay, we are now at the portion of the meeting for public comment. If there are any, I'm sorry, did you wish to be recognized?
I do, please. I don't know, Mr. Moore, I didn't see the meeting dates as an agenda item on here that I'm bringing back because I took and revised our schedule for us to have some vacation time.
The commitment was made for the April 21st meeting to make that be accomplished.
I just asked you, have you had your dates yet?
I thought you had it on tonight when you asked me today. Did I bring the dates with me?
I got my Travelocity guide out here. I want to know if I can go.
The commitment was for April 21.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. If there are no other comments, this is now open for public comment. Any members of the public wishing to speak on any agenda or non-agenda items, except items which are public meetings.
We need to approve the consent agenda.
You will each have 3 minutes. I'm sorry?
We need to approve the consent agenda.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're right.
As amended.
Do we have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
As amended, so moved.
As amended. And
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
It's approved. Thank you very much for the reminder.
Our clerk is lovely.
We're now open to public comment. 3 minutes. Name and zip code for the record, please.
Montre Bennett, 33444. I like the banners in the lobby that is speaking about making our kids read more. I'm gonna say it that way. But y'all missing some people on it. I need to see some black boys out there so they can be encouraged to want to read more too. Don't forget about people when y'all making stuff. Derry Reed's promotional team. Think about all the kids, not specific people. That's my sidebar. My that really hurt my nerves when I walked in here and seen that. I'm sorry. Get your green on to celebrating 11 years. The theme is rooted in resiliency in nature and community. Play, nourish, and grow. May 2nd, 11 to 3, right next door at Community Center. Come out, community wellness experience, uplifting mental health, awareness, growth, and connection through nature, play, and nourishment. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Good evening, Pamela Williams, 33444. I want to thank the city publicly for displaying the eyesore that the neighbors of the Paradise Heights HOA located in the set have had to look at for what appears to be years now. I am referencing the Bilo and the private residence on Northwest 8th. Let me share with my mayor and the commission how unhappy I am with this band-aid of solution, or lack thereof of solution, that was done tonight with that presentation. The proverbial passing of the buck is what I saw happening tonight. To state that the owner, new or old, has the right to due process, that's a backhanded slap in the face of my community's patience. Just like tonight's presentation was a joke. It was a joke. We know what it looks like. We know that they've had ample amount of time to get it repaired, and that dog and pony show was just you starting the calendar all over again. Respectfully, I will be contacting the news. We need bigger eyes on this. Coming here to be somewhat civil is not getting me anywhere. I don't want to say me as if I'm the only person having a problem with. I'm just the biggest mouth. This is ridiculous. So now we're going to start all over again, but giving new owners time to put a coat of paint on that building. Bring the landscaping up to par. If you're not going to pave that driveway, can you at least mark the designated parking spaces so when there are 10 cars there, and there will be, we now know who's parking legally and illegally. This was a joke of a presentation. I am so upset. This is crazy. What? Please do better, and if not, I will have to get someone from the outside. No one wants to bring a blemish to Delray Beach, but if it's happening to me, someone's got to help me. And if not, where I pay my taxes, perhaps the news can help. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Williams. Any other members of the public? Yes, one coming.
Hiding.
Hiding.
Just in case. I was sneaking out, hiding in the back away from. Anyway, Marjorie Waldo, Arts Garage. I hope you guys are doing well today. I have two special things to tell you about. Madam, may I ask you please to pass one for you too. We are celebrating at Arts Garage 15 years of being in office. In office, no. Y'all have been in office a long time. I've never been in office, and I have no desire to be in office. Don't know how you do it. Sorry.
I was there at the beginning.
We have been open for business for 15 years in April, and it's very exciting. On the 28th, you have a CRA meeting, but it's at 4, and y'all go really fast. So maybe after, you'll swing by Arts Garage and enjoy a glass of Prosecco and listen to Gianni Bianchini, a local amazing jazz performer, play some piano for us, and celebrate with the ribbon cutting that the Chamber of Commerce is doing for us. If you don't know, Mayor Carney was the founding board chair in 2011, served as board chair for 2 years before you bailed on us.
I did. I apologize.
It's okay. On May 29th, we're also having a summer fundraiser that's part of our 15-year celebration called 70s Jukebox. And it's an interactive fundraiser where you get to pick the songs from the 70s, and it will benefit scholarships for places summer camp, which is almost always 60 to 95% scholarship, which means we don't say no to any mom or dad or grandma or grandpa who wants their kid to attend for money. There are 4 weeks in the camp, and we're hoping to raise enough money that we can say yes to everybody. So I hope that one costs money. That one's $30 plus fees. But I'd love it if you'd come to either or both. So thank you so much for all you do.
As the founding chairman of the Arts Council, I do intend to be there.
Good, thank you.
Even if I have to leave the CRA meeting early.
Good, you can help me cut the ribbon.
Well, our new chair over here, she's going to have to just make sure that
I'm going to make the meeting really short.
She's got to make the meeting really short.
I'll make it fast.
Adam Frankel short.
Do a Frankel.
Congratulations, Marjorie.
Thank you.
It's amazing. So, Laura Simon, Downtown Development Authority, 33483. I just wanted to first congratulate, I didn't realize it was 15 years with Arts Garage. That's amazing, and great work under Marjorie Waldo's leadership. So kudos to you and all that you're bringing to our downtown. I did also want to just recognize tonight the good work that we saw the presentation from our homeless task force, which I think we probably need to fix the name, because they are doing so much progress that it's not task work. It is like you said, hero. I heard the word hero, and we really need to applaud the amazing work that these people are doing. And I applaud Daryl Hunter. We served together when he was on the Clean and Safe team, really looking at our downtown as we needed help. And we looked at other towns, and we really came together, and he spearheaded that, and I just really thank you for that, and thank the team, and thank the commission, the leaders before you that really invested in this this work, because it is tremendous. Downtowns across the world deal with us, and we are blessed to have what we have here. We, as a Downtown Development Authority, fund the Safety Ambassador program that works alongside the city and really is a support to that, and touching these individuals in the morning and helping guide them to the services that they need. And it is tough work, and they're paying $15 an hour, $16 an hour. It's rough, and they're discovering things that they don't want to discover. But we have had team members that have been there for 8 years, 10 years. 10 years this program's been going on since 2016. So it's tremendous, and you all should be really proud of it and really support the heck out of it. And I also want to support the run with the chief on Atlantic Avenue.
He said I could walk. He said I could walk.
And I have to say that I'm going in my 16th year, and when I started here, I'm born and raised here, but I wanted to do, I still have this, and Prentice knows if he's watching, the longest line dance, but I also wanted to do the run. So I'm really excited I'm a runner, and I'm really excited to have that going through our downtown. Wherever it is, I'd like a 5K, but it's okay. We'll do a mile first, but hopefully we'll get the longest line dance too. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Simon. Any other members of the public wishing to address the commission? Seeing none, public comment is closed. We have already approved the consent agenda. We now go on to the regular agenda items. I'm sorry, did you wish to speak, ma'am?
Are you going to be doing the agenda on properties, variances?
That's coming later in the agenda. That's which agenda item are you talking about?
Okay, property variance.
Yes, that's coming later. That's coming later in the agenda. Yes, you'll have the opportunity to speak at that point. Yes, I believe. Yeah, right.
Yeah, I don't know if it's quite
Okay,
right.
we're now going to the consent agenda item 6B, which is now agenda item 7AA, which is the Raftellus, the additional spending request as it relates to the Raftellus contract. It was your issue, Commissioner Casal.
We did the visioning. We know where we have to go. What's the plan for the goal setting? Because I think that, I'm not saying we don't need Raftellus, but I really think what we need is, first of all, to agree that we're submitting money into these 5 visioning items. But then I think what we really need is a day of goal setting with our staff to tell us, how do we get, what can we do, what should we do? In the visioning, the staff wasn't as prominently involved, as you know, and we don't even know where to go next. So I would like to focus not on the goal setting, but on implementing our vision and talking about that. And I don't know that Raf Tellis should or shouldn't be involved, but I just want to make sure that we're not going to go do the same exercise and talk about goal setting like it's a fresh thing, because Judy, you were involved in the visioning.
Okay. Yes,
So I agree with you in that in the visioning process, it was all ideas and where we're going to go, but we had some solutions that we were bringing up, and they're like, no, it's not solution time.
Right.
So I believe that the workshop should be solution time. And
the vision, you're talking about the
goal setting.
Goal setting
I'm
workshop.
sorry,
Yeah,
yes,
right.
yes,
But
yes.
you can clarify.
Thank you.
Well, I happen to agree that goal setting is kind of different from the visioning, and certainly when we have a new commissioner, because we as commissioners sat back and we really listened, which is what we're supposed to do, and hear from the community, which is what we're supposed to do, and we're supposed to extrapolate all that stuff and hopefully develop from ourselves goal settings. But we would like the city to go, but we also may have some ideas that were not generated by the group, which also may be worthy of mention and discussion. So I think it's a totally different process. I understand your issue as it relates to, duplicating stuff, but I don't really think that goal setting is duplicating so much. But that's just my view. Are there any other, Commissioner Burns, have any? So, I would like to just approve this and go forward, because I think it's going to be a valuable exercise, especially as I say, we have a new commissioner.
And Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
If I may add to that, so what we're planning for with this authorization is to essentially accomplish all the points having been raised at this session. So a great reason for Raftelis coming back to be the facilitator. Well, number one, they worked with us quite well leading up to this place. The last traditional goal setting session took place back in May of 2024.
Right.
Did a nice job. It was a productive experience, one. Number two, with Vision 2035, the direction will be to work collaboratively with them, including key members of the executive leadership team, to play a prominent and active role so that we can begin the process of connecting the dots with respect to what was outlined in Vision 2035. So that's a continuous process in that regard. So with tonight's authorization, I plan to host a meeting with representatives with Raftelis in the next couple weeks or so to prepare along those lines, number one. Number two, they've already been advised to that effect.
Okay.
So with this authorization, it takes under consideration every point having been raised, and that will be the experience Friday, May 2026.
Thank you.
So if I can get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Fine, it's fine. So now it's item 7A, resolution amending fiscal year 2025-2026 budget. I see Mr. Dockwith on his way up.
Resolution.
I'm asking the city attorney to the office to read the resolution into the record. Thank you.
Resolution number 60-26, a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Delray Beach, Florida, amending its budget for the fiscal year beginning October 1st, 2025, by providing for supplemental appropriations in the amounts identified in Exhibit A, repealing all resolutions inconsistent herewith, providing an effective date, and for other purposes.
Thank you very much. Sir.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, the commissioners, city manager, city attorney. Here are the amendments and explanations. Economic development, as we heard during the workshop, $130,000 revenue increase to prior year surplus and expense increase to other contractual services for consulting services. Fire, $382,062.62 revenue increase to concurrency mitigation and expense increase to capital equipment and protective bunker gear to buy and replace mission essential equipment. Fire is looking at $18,552.23 expense transfer from operating supplies to regular salaries, wages, and benefits to reclassify 2 positions to support operational and financial needs of the organization. Communications Creative Arts School, $45,000 expense transfer from other contractual services line to the part-time wages and FICA taxes to fund one additional program administrator related to sustained program and enrollment growth and community demand. Water and Sewer Fund, zero change. Water distribution, $600,000 expense transfer from the non-operating contingency account to other contractual services to fund deep injection well water line break and replacement of 6 aged valves. Delray Beach Municipal Golf Course Fund, a decrease of $24,500,000 is a revenue decrease of the debt proceeds, note and bond proceeds, and expense decrease of capital outlay, recreational and other improvements, transferring both to the golf course renovation bond fund so that renovations can be tracked separately. And the next one is the increase in the renovation bond fund. We set up a separate fund for the bonds that we borrowed for the golf course renovation, and we expect the expenses to go through there, but when we budgeted, it was in the municipal golf course fund, so we're just transferring from one fund to the other. Here's the total impact. There's $512,063 change because that's additional revenue that's coming into the general fund. So the revised budget with the proposal for all funds is now $649,452,315. Questions?
No. Are there any questions for Commissioner Casal? You wish to be recognized?
Mr. Moore, really quickly, that water line break, was that the result of somebody else doing work? Or was that just a failure age infrastructure?
We'll talk a little bit more about that in the next couple of weeks, but it's the result of...
Go ahead.
My understanding is the result of other activities, and so there will be a claims consideration
When
to
did
address
that
that.
actually happen?
This would have been in 2025.
So 2025, there was a water line break, and we haven't discussed a claim yet, and we're in 2026?
Well, information gathering took us all the way up into the last few weeks.
This is why I asked you for the presentation on how we're handling claims, because
And that will take place April 21st.
that's a very long period of time. I look forward to that presentation.
That's also April 21st, ma'am, is committed.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else wish to be recognized?
Nope.
Nope. Yes. Nope.
Thank
Then I
you,
need a
Mr.
motion
Jackowitz.
to approve the resolution.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? Resolution is adopted.
Thank you.
7B. Would you like the Attorney's Office please read the resolution into the record?
Resolution number 70-26, a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Delray Beach, Florida, approving an agreement to retain Kiewit Infrastructure South Company as the construction manager at risk for the Northwest Neighborhood Improvements Project pursuant to RFQ 2025-013, authorizing the city manager to execute any amendments and/or renewals thereto and take any and all actions necessary to effectuate the intent of this resolution, providing an effective date and for other purposes.
Thank you very much. Ms. Barletto.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. Missy Barletto, Director of Public Works, accompanied by Cassandra Thompson, who apparently gets paid by the letter. She has the longest title of anybody at the city, Assistant Chief Procurement Officer, and my partner this evening. So what we're here tonight to do is to kick off the construction manager at risk contract for the northing and traffic calming measures. We did a great deal of public outreach in the neighborhood in advance of the design of this project, and some of the normal things that we propose for traffic calming, like chicanes or landscape bulb outs, those kinds of things are not happy items for the residents of the Northwest neighborhood. They like the traditional things. They like stop signs and speed humps, and that is what we're putting into their neighborhood. You're welcome. So we're also going to be putting in decorative street lighting. There will be a lot more street lighting in the neighborhood than what is there now. There will be lights in the alleys as well as on the roadways to enhance safety, and there will be landscaping and irrigation. So one of the things that the reason that the city manager asked to have this as a presentation tonight, where it would normally have just been approved on the consent agenda, is so that we could talk about how a construction manager at risk project is phased, because of the intense negotiations that happen at the front end of this contract in the first phase. It looks to the community like a project is stalled and there's nothing going on, because there's a lot of internal discussion. We're going over the plans, we're straightening out any conflicts in advance, we're fixing any questions that the contractor might have about the plan set that they've received, and we're resolving those up front. Then we're arriving at a guaranteed maximum price, which is the most that we're going to be charged for that project by the contractor. And they're very happy
almost
to
as much
have
as
him
we
here.
are.
No, they're equal. I think they're equal. So this company has a lot of experience at this type of big community improvements. And the phase one of the contract will be in the amount of $763,816 to the penny.
Thank you very much. I'm been hoping this gets started for a while. I think these improvements will add so much value. These improvements will add so much value to the property values there. It pays for itself. So I'm really looking forward to it getting started sooner rather than later. Are there any comments from anybody from the commission?
No. So let's get it done.
No? Then I need a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
There you go. We'll start working.
Thank you so much.
Resolution 5826. If the city attorney's office could please read the resolution into the record.
Sure, and this one is quasi-judicial, if you want to go ahead.
Sorry, what?
This one is quasi-judicial.
Oh,
if you
yeah,
wanna
I'm
go
sorry.
ahead
This
and-
is the quasi-judicial hearing. I'm seeing the attorney get up, so he's all set to go. Let me read the rules for a quasi-judicial hearing. First of all, is there anybody here who wishes to address the commission on this item? If you could please rise and be sworn by the clerk. Anybody wishing to speak on this item?
Francine, you should rise.
For clarification.
7C.
If you want to speak on this project, now's the time.
By the authority vested in me as a notary of the state of Florida, do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do. Thank you very much. This hearing shall be conducted in accordance with the quasi-judicial rules. The applicant and the city shall be each allowed 15 minutes to present their case. The public shall be allowed to speak for 15 minutes each, or a maximum of 6 minutes if the person represents an organization or a group of people who are present but agree not to speak. The city commission and staff and the applicant may be allowed to cross-examine a witness. The city or the applicant will be allowed to offer rebuttal testimony. The decision to approve or deny an application or appeal may not be legally made upon personal views as to whether a project is a good project or not, nor may a decision be made based on the numbers of citizens who support or oppose a particular project. The law requires that all decisions must be made on the basis of whether the project meets the requirements of law, the comprehensive plan, and the land development regulations. If we've sworn in the witnesses, if you could please enter the project into the record.
Do you want me to read the resolution number real quick? Resolution number 58-26, a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Delray Beach, Florida, approving a waiver to the minimum lot width associated with the proposed enclave by the sea plot for the property located at 504 Northwest 8th Avenue, as more particularly described herein, providing an effective date and for other purposes.
Thank you very much. Are there any ex parte communications?
Other than the folder full of emails, no, I didn't talk to anyone.
Commissioner Casal.
I met with Mr. Bernardo and the emails.
Emails. Emails, yeah? Emails. I also met with Mr. Bernardo, and I read all the emails, and we did receive a package today, which is off to our rights with all the emails that the city received, so I include those all in my ex parte communication. Other than that, Mr. Bernardo.
Can I enter the file into the record?
Oh, I thought we just did. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You just read the caption. Okay.
Question. That's Lake red line there, 504 Northwest 8th Avenue. Question. That's Lake red line there, 504 Northwest 8th Avenue. It is located within the Lake Ida Shores subdivision. Very relevant to our discussion tonight is that it is on the boundary of the Lake Delray Lake subdivision, which is to its immediate left. So I believe a little history of why we're here, why this lot sits vacant. As you can see from the visual, one of the largest lots on that block. So let's take you back to 1995. Before Delray Lake's plat was established, before the development was built, the subject lot is there in the middle. As you can see, Lake Ida Shores was put together piecemeal over many years. There were many different subdivisions within that. This is at the edge of the last subdivision, and it's anticipated that the roadway there was possibly for the expansion of Lake Ida Shores into what is now Delray Lakes. So as you can see from this 1995 picture, you have what is a unused, partial, unimproved right-of-way, which is on the south side of the what is now Northwest 8th Avenue. Let's fast forward to 2002. After Delray Lakes was developed, the subject plat sat vacant, and as you can see from the turnaround, it's estimated that in the development of Delray Lakes, this was likely just not incorporated into the subdivision. So you had the turnaround there that faced south, and you have there's just lost land. So if you really deduce why we're here today, it's likely in the interim of this 1995 and the 2002 lot, somewhere along there, this probably should not have happened. Needless to say, this was a lost piece of land. Was not part of the Delray Lake subdivision, and was not part of the Lake Ida Shores subdivision, so it was vacant land. So there were two sections of this land. There's in the green, there's a partially bank-owned property. Now that's estimated to be left over from possibly the Delray Lake subdivision. I was involved for this family back in the time period relevant here. We did plenty of title research. It was an overlap piece of land, very relevant to our discussion tonight. The rest of the land sat as the unimproved right-of-way with no intent, no potential or intended future use of any roadway, clearly. So what happened? The lost land became a nuisance and a safety concern. Constant mischief and use of that land, unmonitored free access, no fencing, what became a direct safety concern of the Delray Lakes owner to the south, who is the petitioner tonight. You may have known in 2006, there was a high-profile event that overshadowed many of the smaller mischief events. Over many years, that fence, there's a white fence, which is the boundary line between Delray Lakes and Lake Ida Shores on the north side of the homeowner to the south, where there was consistent mischief and some drug paraphernalia things constantly found. Kids just find a spot to hide.
They use this room a lot, don't they?
Oh, yeah.
Testing.